Hello and welcome, this is Mercenary and we're back with some more BattleTech. In the last video, we completed our first mission here in the Brisbane system. And now that we've done that, let's go ahead and set some things up for our next mission. So first we're going to start with the mech warriors, see if we have anybody to level up. And the main one I'm concerned with is, we're just shy of being able to do that. Also, I wanted to check Ruthless. How are you doing on your experience? Yeah, so you're stuck at 920. Last time I looked, you had 920. You still have 920. So until we upgrade the training facilities, you won't get any more experience, which is unfortunate. All right, well, we can't level up either of those two. What about Decker? Decker could take Guts, but I'm not really that interested in that upgrade. All right, so Behemoth here. And we have enough for tactics. Would give us a cold shot bonus. I'm not sure if I necessarily care about that right now. I think we're going to hold on to all our experience. We don't have anything there. Let's go to our bays. And we have some repairs to do. So, unfortunately, the Fire Dragon was knocked out and will take some time to repair. Not a lot of time, not a lot of cost, but it's going to mean it's not going to be available for the next mission, which we'll probably do right away. So, that's unfortunate. We did unlock a priority mission, but I'm not going to do it until we at least complete everything that's here. Alright, so if we do not have the dragon available, I could also be doing other refits right now. But if we don't have the dragon available, what would we run instead? I think we'll probably run the Hunchback. I think that's the backup that we're going to use. So do we want to use the secondary Centurion as a support mech, as our backup support mech? I don't think I really have the components for it, but I have done a setup that is actually not bad before with a Centurion that I could do now. Let's do it. Why not? We could need a backup support in the case the Trebuchet goes down, because that's the only real support mech we have. We kind of have the Centurion, this Centurion, to fall back on if we absolutely have to as a support mech, but I prefer to have something that's a little bit more indirect fire oriented. So in that vein, let's refit the Centurion here. So this is a refit that I did in my other campaign, because the first Centurion you get is part of the campaign, and it's stripped out. It has no weapons in it outside of, like, I think a single medium laser. So I didn't have an AC-10. Just like in this campaign, I didn't have an AC-10. AC-10s apparently are quite rare in the game, as I only have a couple, and I think I just recently got some of those anyway. But what you do is you remove the AC-10 and you replace it with an AC-2. We have an upgraded one, so why not use that? Obviously, you're going to need some ammo with that AC-2, so we'll go ahead and do that. I guess I'll just fit it in the arm. Where am I going? There it is. Why not? If it blows up and then it takes the weapon that it feeds with it, I guess. The other thing you do is you switch out the LRM-10. So you've saved yourself a lot of tonnage by doing that. And you replace the LRM-10 with an LRM-20. We should have. And we've got an upgraded one as well, so again, why not use it? And after that, I feel like I'm missing something. I think this is the main crux of the thing. Maybe I did another ton of ammo, because we are having a significant upgrade in firepower, so that makes sense. So we'll do 3 tons of LRM ammo to match that. And I probably upped armor or maybe a heat sink as well. Although heat efficiency is better. This could be a mech that would run in a hot environment really nicely. Or again, we could take the armor. I guess we'll just take the armor. It wouldn't hurt. So we're already maxed out in the arms. Let's do a little bit in the legs. A little bit in the rear sections. Although this being a support mech, it shouldn't be getting hit in the rear. We'll do the rest in the torso sections here. We'll just go back and forth until we're done. And that should be it. All right, so we get a ton of armor. We get it's a downgrade to an AC-2, which gives us long-range firepower, so we have that direct line firepower. And then we have an LRM-20, so this thing, unfortunately, it's not upgraded. In my other campaign, I have a +2 damage upgraded LRM-20, so it does significant damage. We're talking 120 damage. This doesn't have that upgrade, so it's only going to be doing 80, which is a reduction off of what the trebuchet could do. But if it did have that damage upgrade, it would be on par with what a trebuchet could do. So that's where I'm kind of looking for these damage upgrades, because a mech like this could be really effective if it had those damage upgrades, but we don't have them, so unfortunately it's a little under par. But with this setup, it can do 100 damage if you hit with both the, well, actually 105 damage if you hit with both the AC2 and the LRM-20 and you do full damage. So it's not bad. It's better than what the Centurion could do normally, because you have 40 plus the 60 that the AC-10's doing. So that's 100. So you're doing slightly more damage this way, but you're also improving your indirect fire significantly. So that's why I like this setup. And again, if you can get upgrades on either this or this, it makes this mech a lot better. All right, let's go ahead and confirm this loadout. You could also set this up if you wanted to go lower on the armor and the LRMs. You could set this up with jump jets, give a little bit more maneuverability as well. Something maybe I could have done, but we'll just go with this for now. This is just a backup mech, so it doesn't need to be perfect.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
All right, I think we're more or less ready to go. So we already have our mechs set up that we're going to use instead of the dragon, which is the hunchback. We're going to lose some of our capability using this mech versus the dragon, long-range capability in particular, so we're going to have to be a little bit more up close and personal in this particular engagement, but I think we'll be able to make it through all right. With that in mind, though, I am going to pick the 1.5 skull mission. All right, so this is going to be a 3 skull one. I'm not going to look at it yet. Give us an idea where we're going to be, though. It's only 1.5 skull, though. Yeah, we'll have that one day go by, so we'll have that dragon be available. All right, so we've become aware of a convoy transporting... okay, so this is a very generic thing. Let's see what this has to say, though. Not sure why the Confederation is being so circumspect, but they don't pay to ask us to ask questions. There's a bonus for us if we eliminate any witnesses, so that's going to be the convoy's escort as well. All right, let's go ahead and negotiate. I'm just going to go kind of 50-50 on this one, as the pay is not, you know, particularly great, and the salvage isn't particularly great, so we're just going to go kind of a mid-line on this one. We got paid pretty well in the last mission, so I'm all right taking a little bit more salvage on this one. Okay. So, in this case, it's just going to be swap out the hunchback is going to be running, and we're in polar, so the hunchback will be running cooler, so I think it'll be pretty effective. This kind of firepower is, you know, going to be nice and effective when we get it up there. And other than that, we should be ready to go. So let's deploy. Okay, here we go.
Command interface initiated.
Commander, we've reached the coordinates we were provided. Move into position to intercept the shipment. Shipment is destroyed. Head to the evac zone. Oliviera out. Alright, so it has been a while since I've done a mission like this. Oh, in this case, let's jump. Oh, okay, jump's not going to take me as far as a sprint would. I could get into cover. I guess I might as well. Oh, Decker's in the back. Maybe we shouldn't move with him first, then.
Ready for orders.
Okay, you're just going to sprint to get closer, because you're going to need to get closer. You're the slowest mech here.
Aye, aye.
Okay. Okay, it looks like I can move further because the hunchback was in my way, so... have the trebuchet move. Be able to get her in the woods here. Have her move in behind the mountain as well, just...
Copy that.
Okay. You move up front, give us that scouting. Side the hunchback. Alright, so I haven't taken a look at the map yet. It looks like the enemy probably starts here and then maybe goes here, so it's going to go around this bend. Ah, yeah, it said that the crosshair is going with the convoy. So they are moving along this bend, and then they're going to come here. So this is going to be our intercept point. Should be able to set up a decent ambush there. All right. Let's have you then go over here. We should get a sensor lock, I would imagine.
Roger.
As long as you stay in behind the mountain, you shouldn't be able to see us.
Primary target on screen, Commander.
That in mind, I'm going to move up and then brace. And I have the hunchback move up here. I think I'd be able to get away with a sprint. We'll see. Yeah, okay. I think I would be able to get away with one. It's possible they lock me up and then I get hit a bunch, but we'll go with this.
Coordinates received.
And honestly, I may have a need to move in behind this mountain anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. Just get us closer in so that we can attack the enemy as needed.
Oh, it's on now.
Alright. So they've got at least one enemy light mech. Like 2 enemy light mechs. Okay, both 35 tons. That could be a couple different things. 3 35-ton mechs. Okay. Continue reserve. They should move along their convoy route. Okay, we've got a 10-ton vehicle. Okay, medium mech. I think the 10-ton vehicle is just the standard APC. Alright, hello. So they can see the hunchback now. I don't think that's a particular problem, as these things only have medium lasers and machine guns, I think. Alright.
Waiting for orders.
You should just be able to stay still then and just attack this thing with all these lasers you've got. So, do we do precision strike? I think it makes sense to do a precision strike here. And I think I'd rather go after side armor than frontal armor. I mean, honestly, take the turret out if you can, but it looks like it has the same armor value as the front, so yeah, side is preferable.
Acknowledged.
Primary target is damaged, Commander. Keep it up.
Alright, we didn't take it out, but we did a pretty good amount of damage to it.
Ready for orders.
Okay. What are we gonna do here? I can jump in and hit the enemy. I'm probably gonna see retaliation from the light mechs here, no matter what I do. I think I may have aimed for the wrong side. I don't know if I damaged frontal armor anyway. Alright. Now let's jump in and do the attack anyway. On the same token, maybe that's not the right course. Maybe moving with my character and doing this attack makes more sense. Because I'll do more damage, but also I'll be able to use the sensor lock to do indirect fire damage.
Enemy detected.
And then I'm only having to worry about them attacking me. Alright. Fire away.
All weapons committed.
Target is
Okay, that was super overkill here. I didn't know I would hit that particular spot though, so...
Enemy unit destroyed.
Okay. And
What's
then
up, boss?
we're better off staying put,
Copy that.
sensor locking somebody. I could go after the vehicles, but I think we go after mechs instead. You know, I say that. The vehicles make a certain amount of better sense to go after because they won't have the defenses that a mech will have. This will reduce my damage because they're, for sure, they braced. So we go after a vehicle that has not. Now this thing is not gonna, it's not gonna be able to take the kind of firepower we're about to fire at it, but hey, let's just ensure the kill.
Receiving you.
Yeah, this should kill it.
Engaging target.
But we just want to be doubly sure. There we go.
Yes.
Vehicle down.
Right, that's half of them. And in theory, we don't have to kill the mechs if we don't want to. That's just for bonus pay. Okay, they haven't established line of sight yet. There's no reason to do anything just yet. Okay, the general will attack me. And then I'll do like an attack and move, get out of that line of sight. Now, we don't know what these mechs are going to be, but everything that I know of that's 35 tons should not have any indirect fire capability, so we should be fine. That 55-ton mech is the more concerning thing, though. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. And hit with what I can hit with.
All weapons committed.
I didn't pay attention, but it looks like this thing had reduced armor to start.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
And then we jump away. In behind here, where they won't be able to see.
Engaging jump jets.
Okay. Not quite far enough forward. Observe.
Waiting for the shot.
Okay. Observe again.
Holding for tactical advantage.
I think this guy will come out in vision of the hunchback. Are. Just open up on it with the hunchback. Okay. So far, so good.
Orders.
So yeah, the hunchback remains in good ambush position. Do we do another precision strike here? I see no reason not to. Again, yeah, I think that is the right side that we want to attack, the left side. Okay, we managed to kill that one in one go. A little bit luckier dispersion. Alright, well, that should be everybody.
Receiving you.
I'm gonna jump up here. Strike the Jenner, the only thing that we can see.
Up high.
And honestly, I'd probably die under this barrage. But, never know. I could vigilance here just to give myself that initiative advantage, but I don't think there's a reason to.
Copy that.
Yeah, there we go, dead.
That's a kill.
And we do have vision of the APC, so we'll take that out.
Taking the shot.
Get your lance to the LZ commander. I'm coming in hot.
I don't think we need to do that. I think we can handle the opponents that are here. Alright. I'm almost confident enough to reserve again, but we really don't need to. We don't need to prove anything. There's no reason to take... I mean, I could take a pilot head hit. You know, that's just a risk that we don't really need to take. So, I'm going to jump away, and we'll just sensor lock the Panther, and then we'll make sure that Panther dies.
Got a lock.
Okay, no reason to give them vision for their medium mech. Medium mech is going to have to move rather than attack. Now, this is something I'm going to have to get not too used to, because the enemy will start sensor locking me at things, but I may multi-target here just to make another target viable. So we'll have this go against B and fire.
Engaging.
Yeah, it looks like they have half armor. So this is, proving to be a little on the easier side because of the reduced armor. If these guys were full armor, this would be, a little bit more of a task, but it's still, I think we could have gotten through this. Okay. Well, we don't have the ability to cut through their defenses yet. But I'm still going to multi-target here. You're going to be A. You're going to be B. And have this one go against B. And again, we're just doing this to burn through evasion so I can hit it with other thing. Okay, so that Firestar is going to be able to hit me no matter what I do here. But in this case, we're going to move out, and I'm going to open up on the Panther, which more than likely will kill it. I'm going to do Vigilance just so we have some defense and we get that bonus to initiative that we can take advantage of. But mostly for the defense. I could Precision Strike here as well. I don't think I need to. I mean, there's a possibility I'd hit everything but the center torso and I wouldn't get the kill, but with as much firepower as we're going to sling here. Oh, am I going to eat my words? There we go.
Might be some good salvage there.
Alright, the Blitzgriffin is a little bit in danger of taking heat damage here. But it's going to go after my Shadowhawk instead, which makes not a whole lot of sense. Alright. The Hunchback is going to fire upon the Shadowhawk with Precision Strike. And what do we want to take out here? Oh, this is the variant that packs the extra SRM2 and medium laser. Well, unfortunately, that means you have even less armor than you normally would. AC5 is, I think, the biggest threat here, so we'll try and take that out, which is in the B and the left torso here. So aim for that. And fire away. What just happened? Oh. Must have accidentally hit a button there. Alright, anyway, left torso, fire.
Firing on target.
Unfortunately, we missed a lot there.
Orders?
I'm going to jump back just to give myself a little bit of defense, and then we'll hit the fire starter. I can get away with another Precision Strike, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And we'll go after, I guess, the right torso.
Let's see how you like this.
Okay. We got some of the firepower of the fire starter. Okay.
Ready for orders.
In this case, we're doing multi-target. You're going to be A and you're going to be B because we can fire the medium lasers here.
Copy that.
Why not? Alright, I was kind of hoping for getting rid of some of the firepower here. Okay.
I think I hit something good.
Alright, now for my character. Now, punching here makes a certain amount of sense because we would reduce our heat and we'd probably kill the fire starter. But we're only doing 70 damage, though. Alternatively, I could jump away, and if I kill the fire starter, then the Shadowhawk doesn't have vision of me anymore. I am out in the open, I don't have any cover, but I don't know. I think this is our right move.
Engaging jump jets.
The chance we'll kill this fire starter is pretty high.
All weapons committed.
Yep, there it goes.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Now, the only vision the enemy has is that the Shadowhawk is providing, which is more than likely only to the Hunchback. I was trying to reduce that damage, but unfortunately we didn't pull it off.
Barely hit, Commander.
This guy's dead for sure, though. I could try and clip his head off or something,
Standing by.
but I don't have any called shots open to me, so I think we're just going to unload on this guy, and he's more than likely going to go down under this weight of fire here. As I said, this version of the Shadowhawk sacrifices armor for firepower, so it's not going to be able to take much, especially as it already had a 50%, reduction in armor anyway. So
Roger.
it's not going to be able to take this firepower, unless, of course, we miss a lot. Wow, we didn't hit at all. Well, they weren't necessarily great shots. And he is going to be able to retaliate, unfortunately. Alright, fortunately we didn't get any head hits. But the Hunchback is going to make you regret hitting it.
Standing by.
As now you're in range of the small laser, so just absolutely everything we have here is going to hit you.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Well, those that actually land. Alright, well that hurts.
Take that. Yes, Commander.
Alright, well, you can do the called shot. The biggest problem with a called shot, though, is missiles tend to not really want to do that. They don't really want to follow the called shot, so I could aim for a head trying to decapitate it, but I might not actually land those targets, so I don't know if I have enough salvage anyway to pick this guy up. I think we just go after this, or this. I'll go after that. There we go. That's all the convoy guards down. Good job. That's some money in the bank. Okay. Fairly easy mission for us. Commander, the area has been cleared. Darius has given me the green light to land immediately. Hold position.
Mission successful.
And honestly, this is a difficulty of a mission where we're getting below our capabilities by, a significant margin. Once you get, from what I've seen, a full skull of difficulty difference of where you're at, it's either, if it's above you, it's too hard, or if it's below you, it's too easy. And this is an example of that. All right, well, we get a little bit of extra money. This is not a bad payday. I think it was on par with a 2.5 skull mission as far as payment, so I'll take that. We get a little bit of bonus here to our reputation, so that's nice. And it looks like we have upgraded to a new point, so we're now liked by the Capellans, so that's good. Okay, we get through without needing any repairs. We get a little bit of experience. All right, well, I do want this version of the Shadowhawk. And the reason I want it is for the difference in the slots. as it's more missile and energy oriented rather than autocannon oriented, which I think the normal Shadowhawk is, and we have 2 support weapon slots. Now, I would modify this thing heavily if I was going to use it, because I don't like how little armor it has, but it's something that you could really work with. Definitely picking that up. Do we have any special weapons anywhere? No, so just going to be this salvage that we're going to get. All right, well, it doesn't really matter what we grab here. I guess I'll just pick up another... Again, it doesn't really matter, so we'll go with that, I guess. And confirm. Okay, we get some machine guns and some jump jets.
That mech you wanted is back online.
All right, the Shadowhawk 2D is an interesting model. Its default payload sacrifices a lot of armor to mount a bit more firepower, though some argue the trade-off isn't worth it. I argue that exactly, but its alpha strikes are better, though, so I guess you can be the judge. See, the problem is the way that they upgraded it is, a little problematic. But I think what we're going to do in this case is we're going to remove either the Vindicator or the Blackjack. I don't remember what my loadouts are for these things, and unfortunately you can't see that in this screen, which is one of the things that I really don't like, because it's actually confusing when you have more than one Centurion and they're loaded out differently. It also doesn't show you what their name is, so if you renamed it to make yourself less confused, well, you don't see that here. So sometimes if you don't know exactly the precise location that particular mechs are in your loadout, you could get confused and scrap the wrong mech. So that is a problem, I think, but not that big of a deal. Grand scheme of things, but I think I'm going to send the Blackjack down because I think the Vindicator can do... I like the loadout I have for it, so we'll send the Blackjack down, but the Vindicator is probably the next one we're going to send down. Alright, because that was a little bit of a shorter mission, I'm going to go ahead and do our refitting of the Shadowhawk now. So the problem with this mech, and the reason why I don't think it's that great, is the way that it upgrades its firepower. So it removes a lot of armor, and what it does with that is it adds on an SRM-2 and a medium laser. Now the medium laser is needed, but the SRM-2 doesn't really help all that much. It would have been better if the SRM-2 had just been upgraded to an SRM-4. That's more heat efficient anyway. So what we're going to do to this mech is we're going to refit it. But I'm going to refit it a little bit differently than what I have the other Shadowhawk, because one thing I could easily do is I could just fit it out with almost the same kit, an SRM-6, maybe we have more medium lasers than we have in this loadout, because this is the only medium laser I could have. But I'm thinking we may even just remove the AC-5 altogether. So let's take a look at this. I think removing the LRM-5 or the SRMs makes the most sense. But in this particular case, I'm going to get rid of the SRM-2s. I'm going to get rid of the LRM-5. And I'm just going to get rid of the SRM ammo for now until I figure out, what I want to do here. So we do have a missile slot in the head, which I may not do, because this may be another potential scout mech for us. If we set it up right, that's the way we could use it. So let's see what we can do here. I think more heat sinks may have been put on this thing as well, which we may not even need. I mean, you can see the heat efficiency of this. But if I set it up for more energy weapons, which I think is the game plan, that extra heat sink efficiency may be needed. So what I'm thinking about doing is removing the AC-5, which is going to give us just a ton of, weight to work with here. We have 16 tons. And I'm going to replace it with a large laser. Now, we should have some special large lasers around. I don't know where they are. Maybe they're used in a mech somewhere. I'm actually wanting to find that out. Where are our large lasers? Because I could have swore I had special ones. This is where sometimes it gets confusing, though, when you have multiple campaigns ongoing. Do I have a large laser somewhere? So I'm just going to revert this so I don't have to worry about it. It would be nice if you could save progress to something without actually having the work be done, but oh well. Come on. There we go. Where is our large laser? It's probably in the Vindicator. Yeah, so this damaged up large laser I'm going to want, so I'm going to need to strip that out. I don't think I have any large lasers anywhere else, but I definitely want that. So we're going to refit the Vindicator to get it. Okay. And we'll replace it with just a standard large laser, as this is just a backup mech. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I really want to do here, so that's done. Unfortunately, we do have to pay money and time for this, but that's all right, I guess. If we're going to be using the Shadowhawk as a potential frontline mech, then it makes sense to use the best equipment that we have available, rather than that being used by a backup mech. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to remove all this stuff. Okay, now that we have that done, we're going to remove the AC-5. Okay, now we're going to grab our large laser. This is pretty similar to a loadout I do with the standard Shadowhawk that I think works quite well. We're going to use it as a scout. We're going to want to bump our jump jets up, so let's do that. 1, 2. And that should be maxed out at 5. Okay, we've done that. We still have 10 tons to work with. Now we have to consider how many tons of armor have been removed from this thing. It's pretty significant. I don't remember exactly how many tons of armor are removed. It could be 4 or 5. But that's how many tons we're probably going to need to put back on this thing, is at least 5, I would imagine. So let's get working. I mean, 25 in the legs, for example. That's not acceptable. We're going to boost that to 50. We're going to boost this to 50. I'll put 3 in pretty much every category here. And then we'll kind of evaluate where we are after that. Okay. All right, so I think the rear armor is decent enough. But the frontal armor may not be quite there yet. I think the legs we should probably boost up to a minimum of 70. And the arms, maybe 60 at the very minimum. And go with a 70 here, 70 here, 85 there. Okay. I think I'm going to go this up to 80. Okay. So, I mean, we still have a lot of tonnage to work with. I mean, this is a lot of armor we're talking about here. So I'll get this up to 80. Get this up to 95. And then I'll tick this up one more little notch. Because being a scout, if we do use this in close range fighting, there's a possibility it would need some rear armor. All right, I guess that's going to be it. Is that. A lot of it's in the center torso. I could put like another ton in if I wanted to, but this is pretty good armor for this size of mech. And it's definitely improved over where it was. You know what? I think I am going to go a little bit more here. We'll get a half a ton out of this thing. And maybe at least. I just want to put a little bit more in the arms and legs. And that's exactly half a ton. So we have 4.5 tons to work with, which is still a decent amount. From that point, what can we do? Well, we've got decent energy weapons. I think we should probably put on an SRM weapon of some type. We do have this SRM-4, which could be a good one for us. Let's think about how much damage we're doing at this point. So we've got 50 here, or I'm sorry, 45. So we're looking at 95. And then with the SRM4, we'd end up getting 40. So we're gonna like 135. I don't know how good that is compared to some of our other mechs. And then maybe to finish it off, we have a small laser. Just to get that last half ton. But yeah, we need a slot for ammo. I mean, I could bump it up to an SRM6, which would technically do more damage. It wouldn't be a lot more damage, but it'd be closer to what the Wolverine does. All right, I'll up it even though we have the special SRM4. I'm going to go to an SRM6. That makes... All right, and then we have a half ton. Heat efficiency is probably the problem. Yeah, okay. I'll do the SRM4. I don't know if this is the best setup, but, you know, just working with it and what we've got here, I'm going to get another heat sink. Put that kind of in there. I'm going to move this out of the legs. The main reason I'm doing that is just, you know, fill out where ammo is. This game doesn't work the way the tabletop game does, where putting heat sinks in legs makes a lot of sense because you would get better efficiency that way. You know, it doesn't really matter about that. So, okay, and then we have a small laser that we could potentially put in. Turn off everything so we can find it. Go ahead and put that in the right arm. Balance out our weaponry. So, again, this isn't necessarily the greatest firepower out there, but it's a little less ammo dependent, and we'll see. I mean, we'll compare it to the current Shadowhawk we use and the Wolverine as well. Just doing, you know, damage numbers here, but all right, let's go ahead and confirm. Gonna take 5 days. It's possible I went overboard with the armor as well. It's possible we have much more armor on this mech than we do on the other Shadowhawk. So we don't really know what it's going to be until it's finished, but I do remember what the firepower is, so we can at least compare in that regard. So in that regard, we had the 2 medium lasers, so that's 50, 95, so we had 135 all told when you calculate all the weapons together. And comparing that to the Shadowhawk, which has all normal weapons, at least as far as damage goes, except for the AC-5. So that's going to be our main advantage. So in this regard, we have 25 plus the 48. So that's going to get us to 73, and then the 55. So right there, we are doing less damage with this version of the Shadowhawk. Now, this version of the Shadowhawk is more heat efficient. So for hotter climates, this would be the one we would run with, and for cooler climates, this would be the one we would run with, just for that raw damage. And then coming over here with the Wolverine, we're not going to see that much of a difference in the firepower damage of the Wolverine here because its weapons loadout is almost identical to what the Shadowhawk is doing. So yeah, this is definitely a step up of damage, just a little bit. It is relying, well, I mean, you have the long range firepower. You don't have the stability knock. That's the difference. But, you know, it's just a little bit of an alternate loadout. And again, I'd have to see when this is done if we have more armor, because I think we will have more armor. I'm not positive on that, though. All right. Well, in any case, I'm pretty happy with this particular mech loadout. We'll just we'll have to try it out, see how it does. Maybe that's something we're going to have to tweak in the future. But it is, you know, interesting to give it a try. Now, most of these other guys are going to be backup mechs, so I think it makes more sense, if the Shadowhawk may potentially be a frontline mech, that we put that more up towards the top. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap things up. I'd like to see how the Shadowhawk does. It's a little bit different than the Shadowhawk I use, because I use a standard variant of the Shadowhawk, and what I do with it is it's much more missile heavy, and the 1 medium laser is swapped out for a large laser. In this case, I have 2 medium lasers rather than none, and then I have the large laser. So it's a lot more energy weapon heavy than the loadout I use in my other campaign, which is a lot more missile dependent. But the large laser is the common thread. In any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.